Well,
Bob, what's the status on Pulev and his mandatory title shot?
well, I want to tell everybody I'm going to make a prediction that the next heavyweight champion of the world, right, after Tyson Fury wins the WBC title, the winner of all three titles is the Kubrat Pulev. He's going to put Joshua on his ass. He's not going to come in like a fat slob like Andy did. He's going to come in fit and ready, and he will put Joshua on his ass. And you can take that to the bank. Eddie Hearn, what if I be?
Those are the words and promises of Bob Arum. Of course, Bob Arum is the CEO of Top Rank Promotions, and of course, we know Kubrat Pulev is the mandatory. And he made a bold prediction. He said when that fight takes place, he wants to put Joshua in, well, he's going to put Joshua on his ass. He won't come in a fat slob like Andy Ruiz did. And he will be ready to fight, and they will have all three titles when Tyson Fury defeats Deontay Wilder. So that is the prediction of Bob Arum. Now, me counterpunching that, it seems like a plan. Wishful thinking, definitely. I think that a lot of these promoters, of course, they want their best interest for the fighters. They want their fighters to prevail and win, of course, and to take the belts home. Now, what are the odds of that actually happening? Well, Tyson Fury would have to defeat Deontay Wilder, which is not impossible because they had a draw last time. And Kubrat Pulev, I don't know his status because the last fight he fought, I believe, was against a guy, and he was facing a lawsuit. Okay. But apparently he's out of that now with the drama with Jenny Suchet. You remember that back in this earlier this year where he was, he grabbed her and kissed her out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she was offended, and you know how that goes. Me too. So, she pulled the Me Too card, and his ass was in trouble, because, that was on national television and all that jazz. So it is what it is. But Pulev is 38 years old, so this is his last hurrah, and he is the IBF mandatory, and they don't play, and Kubrat Pulev is a strong fighter, with only 14 wins and 28 wins, 14 KOs, 28 wins and one loss, and that's due to Vladimir Klitschko. I would say that his record speaks for itself, and it's basically like this. A lot of fighters have only one loss to Klitschko, and it's either, because Povetkin had one loss to Klitschko until he lost it again to Joshua. Brian Jennings is another one. First loss to Klitschko. Kubrat Pulev, first loss to Klitschko. A lot of people have stepped up and fought Klitschko, and, they came up short. But if you look at Kubrat Pulev's record, he has, he's beat Derek Chisora, Samuel Peter, Huey Fury. He's been in there, Tony Thompson, Ustinov, Alexander Dimitrenko. So he's been in there. So he's a seasoned guy with only one loss is pretty impressive. And what he's, and he's 38 years of age, and he's worked himself to the top and the mandatory spot. So I would love for Joshua to fight Pulev to get rid of that mandatory ASAP because, is on that top rank side, it's better to get those far-fetched fighters out of there that belong to other promotional companies, then worry about what's going on in your own stable, and let Usyk fight Chisora or somebody else to get a piece of that belt, to keep that ball going and set up something else, wherever it is. But it's not impossible because Pulev can punch. He does have a puncher's chance, but I don't really see him beating Joshua per se. unless he catches Joshua again with something that he doesn't see, trying to get him out of there, you know. And another thing I need to add that Bob Arum is adamant on is still talking shit about Andy Ruiz, you know. And again, by now, it has to be deep rooted, personal, because, you know, Bob Arum had Ruiz, you know, and really everyone really has to thank Bob Arum for for Ruiz's success. How? Well, Andy Ruiz was not fighting. Now, had he been fighting, had he been getting fights like Pulev and stuff like that, or, you know, other fighters that just keeping him active, he wouldn't have went to Heyman, right? And if he wouldn't have went to Heyman, he wouldn't have been able to fight. And if he couldn't fight, he wouldn't have been able to get that Joshua opportunity. You see what I'm saying? Or really, actually, too, because he beat Joshua the first time. So it's actually Bob Arum's fault that Andy Ruiz is where he's at, you know. Talking about he's a fat slob and all that, man, you know, you don't have to talk about him like that. But you're mad because you didn't get the precedes because he's not your fighter no more. You know, and even when Andy Ruiz beat Joshua, he was like, that was not the Anthony Joshua. That was not him in the ring. That wasn't Joshua. So, you know, I mean, he still didn't give him any credit. You know what I mean? But I think that all spawned from the fact that he just pretty much let Andy Ruiz fall through the cracks. Andy Ruiz climbed himself out of the cracks, found another promoter, and the rest is history, you know. But that is a theory from Bob Arum because he does have some ponies in the show. That's his ponies. Tyson Fury and Kubrat Pulev, both of these guys are top-ranked guys, and that's what he believes. He believes that Kubrat Pulev will knock Joshua on his ass. You guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.